Well, you may have to explain my books to me, because I've been writing for so long that sometimes I forget whole things in the books. And I was in the process of writing a speech for a couple of weeks from now at my alma mater. And I went back because I was trying to prove a point about what I write about. I went back to my very first novel. It wasn't as though the book I remembered. I thought this one marvelous scene was the end of the book. It wasn't the end of the book. That scene didn't even play out the way I remembered. The end of the book was 10 pages later with another scene. So, and I remember my youngest, I have 4 children, and my younger daughter was far too young to read Jacob I Love when I wrote it. And so by the time she read it, oh no, it wasn't Jacob, it was my second book, Of Nightingales That Weep. And she came to ask me a question about it. And I didn't remember anything about what she said. I said, well, give me a hint. Tell me what the context is. And she looked at me in utter amazement. And she said, Mom, you wrote this book. She couldn't believe I could forget anything in one of my own books. I said, well, it's been a long time since I wrote it. And I've written a lot of books since then. Well, she didn't excuse me for that, because she has a wonderful memory. And if I need anything remembered, I always ask Mary. But I don't have that good a memory, even of my own books. And I was going to, in order to write the speech, which is the theme of the series is listen to your life. And I thought, well, in order to write that, I should reread all my novels. I didn't have time to do that. So I just got the first one reread for the speech. But, you know, I honestly don't remember a lot about them. And it always is very gratifying to me with my novels, how happy I am with them when I do reread them. Wow, I used to be able to really write. It's a good thing I still like them.
Well, that could be a nice gift to yourself, is to go and reread those books. Like, oh, this is written exactly the type of book that I enjoyed. How wonderful.
Well, I think people do write the kind of books that they enjoy. Don't you think most writers do that?
The good ones do.
Yeah. Well, I remember one of my friends said, I write the books I wish I'd had when I was a child. And I think maybe there's a lot to that you do write the books for your young child self. I've read a lot of books as a child. I mean, I just read all the time as a child, every time I could find a book. And I still remember some of those. And I went back and reread one of my favorite books when I was middle school age, which was an adult novel. But my mother had given it to me as a present because she knew that I would love it. And it's very interesting to me. My very conservative Presbyterian missionary mother gave me The Yearling when I was 11 years old. And because she had read it and she knew I would love it. And we our family of 5, we didn't have much money. So most books belonged to everybody. But this was the first book I remember was just mine. It wasn't for any of my brother or my sisters. And I went back to read it because I was asked to write an article about a book that had influenced me when I was middle school age. And I thought, or that I had loved when I was in middle school. And I read that book and I thought, boy, there are echoes of Bridge to Terabithia from The Yearling. I mean, that book really influenced me. The boy whose only friend, or well, not only friend, but because he did have that wonderful crippled friend that he loved, but he didn't see him very often, and he was with his dear friend, the Flag, and then Flag has to be killed because he's destroying their crops, being a deer. And so then, so I write a book about a boy who has a dear friend who dies, who has a mixed relationship with his father. And I mean, I hear the echoes. I was certainly totally unconscious of them when I was writing Terabithia.